Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going way beyond just typing a single prompt into an AI. We're going to talk about building entire teams of AI agents. Agents that can work together to tackle problems that are, well, just too big for one AI alone.
You know that feeling, right? You've got this huge idea, this really complex project, and you realize that your go-to AI chatbot, no matter how smart it is, just isn't going to cut it. It's kind of like trying to build a whole house with just a hammer. So what do you do when your ideas get bigger than your tools?
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get clear on what AI agents actually are. Then we'll look at n8n, which is the workbench for all of this. After that, we'll break down how these agents actually work together. And to wrap up, we'll talk about why this whole approach is a real game changer.
All right, let's dive right in. First things first, what in the world is an AI agent? It's super important to get this, because it's a totally different way of thinking about how we use AI.
So an AI agent is not just a passive tool that sits there waiting for your next command. Not at all. It's an active system. You give it a big picture goal, and it has the smarts to figure out the steps to get there. It makes its own plan and then actually goes and does it, all on its own.
And the difference here is huge. A standard AI tool, think of it like a calculator. You put one thing in, you get one thing out. One command, one response. But collaborative agents, that's more like a whole project team. They can take on a big, messy goal together, automatically passing the work from one specialist to the next until the job is done. It's a whole different ballgame. Probably the easiest way to picture this is to imagine a real human team. Let's say you need a report. You'd have one person, the researcher, go find all the info. They hand it off to a writer who puts together the first draft. Then, that draft goes to a critic to find mistakes and make it better. An AI agent team works in exactly the same way. Each one has its own specific job.
So, a team of specialist agents sounds great, right? But how do you actually build it? How do you get them to talk to each other? Well, you need the right kind of workbench. And for that, we're going to look at a tool called n8n.
And the core idea behind n8n is so powerful because it's so simple. It lets you build these super complex systems, but not by writing endless lines of code. Instead, you do it visually. You connect these little boxes, these nodes, on a screen. You're literally drawing the map for how you want everything to work. So why is n8n so perfect for this? Well, for one, being visual makes it way easier to see what's going on, even when things get complicated. But the real magic is that it's designed to connect anything to anything else. We're talking different AI models, all your favorite apps, different APIs, you name it. That flexibility makes it the perfect place to, run the whole show for your AI team.
Okay, so we've got the big idea, and we've got our tool. Now let's get down to the practical part. How do you actually get these agents to work together? It's honestly not as complex as you might think. It really just breaks down into 4 clear steps.
So here they are. Step 1, you've got to define your main goal. What's the big thing you're trying to accomplish? Step 2, you assign the roles. Who's the researcher, who's the writer? Step 3, you hop into a tool like n8n and actually design the workflow, connecting all those roles. And finally, Step 4, you hit go, see what happens, and then tweak it to make it even better.
Let's just follow the data for a second. It all kicks off with you, the user, giving a prompt. That prompt goes straight to the researcher agent. The researcher does its thing and then passes its findings over to the writer. The writer drafts up some content and then, you guessed it, sends it over to the critic who checks it for quality. Every one of those handoffs is just a connection in your workflow. It's this smooth, seamless process.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how. Now, for our last section, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the why. Why is this approach, why does it change everything?
I mean, the possibilities here are just staggering. Seriously, think about it. You could build systems that create complex research reports in minutes instead of weeks. You could generate super personalized marketing content instantly. You could have customer service bots that don't just give canned answers, but actually solve really tricky problems. Suddenly, the sky's the limit for what you can build.
And I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. See, automation, that's like getting a machine to do the same task over and over. But orchestration, that's like being the conductor of a whole symphony.
You have all these different specialized players, and you're the one guiding them to create something amazing and complex. You're the conductor.
And really, this is the most important takeaway. This approach fundamentally changes your relationship with AI. You stop being just a user of AI. You're not just asking it questions anymore. You become a builder. You're the one designing and building your own intelligence systems that are perfectly tailored to do exactly what you need. You become a creator.
So I'll leave you with this. Now that you know you can build these custom problem-solving machines, what team of AI agents will you build first? One to help you write a novel, one to plan out a whole new business venture. The conductor's podium is all yours. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.